A new system is needed in California that protects the interests of both the child and their parents by requiring parental consent for abortions given to any girl under the age of 18. The current system allows any girl under the age of 18 to obtain a legal abortion without the written consent of her parents, thus endangering not only her physical but also mental health, and can trap an abuse victim in her situation for years. The first point is common sense. 12, 13, 14, and 15-year-olds are not allowed to marry, drink, drive, go to the tanning salon without their parents' permission, and sometimes not even then. Why do we do this? Because they are children and lack the emotional maturity to make these decisions or to even understand the impact that their decisions will have not only on themselves but the world around them as well. 24 other states have already put parental consent laws into their current laws, and they have all shown a decrease in the amount of teenage pregnancies and STDs in teenagers as a whole. We can all agree that this is a positive consequence of the law. Children should not be allowed to make a decision as important as an abortion if they can't even go on a school field trip without the consent of their parents. We differentiate between adults and children in this society, and for good reason. If a child needs permission to make an important decision such as marriage, shouldn't they also be required to obtain such permission for something as serious as abortion? Our second claim is that the current system, or my second claim, is that the current system endangers the well-being of the child. In San Bernardino, not more than 25 miles from here, a 24-year-old man who had been sexually abusing his 12-year-old half-sister impregnated her and took her to get an abortion. The clinic where the abortion was performed did not report the abuse to the authorities, and the same man continued to live in the same house as the child for the next 4 years. The girl finally got the courage to tell her mother what had happened, and her parents reported the abuse to the police, and the man was sentenced to 14 years in prison. As many as 70% of all school-age pregnancies are fathered by adults averaging 22 to 23 years of age. And this, the current system that California has allows pedophiles and rapists who take advantage of younger girls to get away with these crimes. The Los Angeles Times reported that many abortion businesses are chop shops where substandard care results in injury and death. One study found that 1 in 10 women will experience immediate complications after an abortion. The health risks to teens are compounded when their parents are kept out of the loop. For example, good follow-up care can be hardly given by those who know their daughters, or who do not know their daughter's medical history best. Also, although abortion clinics are mandated reporters of sexual abuse, there have been far too many incidents where abuse has not been reported. In a study done by Life Dynamics, it was found that in over 800 phone calls to numerous Planned Parenthood clinics reporting a 13-year-old girl impregnated by her 22-year-old boyfriend and wanting to conceal it, that in 90% of the calls, the abuse was not reported. Some workers even said that they were required to report the situation, but that they weren't going to. Not only is that illegal, but the current system condones this type of behavior. Not only do these clinics fail to report the abuse that they are required to report, they also employ doctors who have been disciplined by the state medical board for incompetence, negligence, and criminal misconduct, including sexual misconduct. And lastly is health. Making the decision to have an abortion is one of the most critical medical, let alone life decisions a woman can make. Yet we allow children, those who cannot even make this decision, to receive aspirin from the school nurse without their parents' consent, to make this decision alone. Dr. Bruce Lucero, who has performed more than 45,000 abortions in his 15 years of practice, states, "A parent's input is the best guarantee that the teenager will make a decision that is correct for her, and it helps guarantee that if the teenager chooses to get an abortion, she will receive the appropriate medical care." A California study of Medicaid records comparing over 170,000 women who either aborted or delivered their child showed that for the women that chose abortion, their overall death from all causes was 62% higher, and their death from AIDS was 118% higher. Not only can a parent provide the right guidance to the child, but they can also provide the doctor with a complete medical history and can inform the doctor of any allergies or adverse reactions to medications to better protect the health of the child. The child will also feel more comfortable in telling their parents if there are any complications after the abortion, and that can potentially save the child's life. In February 1994, 15-year-old Sarah visited an abortion clinic, A to Z Women's Services in Houston, Texas. An abortion was performed on her, tearing the right side of her cervix. She suffered from blood poisoning, fever, chills, abdominal pain, and nausea for 4 days before finally being admitted to a hospital. When hospital personnel discovered the tear and a post-abortion infection, they placed her in the intensive care unit. But the infection was far too advanced, and she died on March 2nd, 1994. Hospital physicians reported that had she received prompt medical care, she would still be alive today. This is a perfect example of why parental consent should be required. How many children will have to suffer like this before we will change the law? Not only are there numerous physical effects, but there's also negative emotional effects. Teen suicide rates increased by 10 times within 6 months following an abortion, and the current system allows them to go through this tough time emotionally and physically alone. So we need to mandate parental consent for abortions to stop all this negativity. Thank you.